They will absolutely destroy the economy. And the US is in it for the long game. They need the dollar to remain strong, but at the same time, not crush the growth. That's just my take. So at the end of the year, I think they'll do another two times 50, another 100 basis points. And then they'll see, we're in a really bad recession. We're going to cut 25 basis points and we're going to pump a little, we're going to stop our quantitative tightening or slow it down, and then the market will rally. That's just my take. So we'll know the answer in 12 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
All
I
right.
mean, I agree with you on everything except the last point where they may cut rates and put some money into the system. But otherwise, I think we're fully
Well,
aligned.
not necessarily put money into the system, but reduce the amount of quantitative tightening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about topic number 3. What are your favorite bottom indicators for Bitcoin? This would have been a good one for Ben, but I think I know what he's going to say anyway because I watch his show. So from my perspective, I like the MVRV and I like the realized price indicator. You mentioned Will Clemente. He put this chart up earlier today in a great tweet thread. He talked about the realized price sitting at 24K, and it is rare we trade at this level. And for those who don't know or need a refresher, the realized price is the aggregated cost basis of investors. When we get to this place, there is no more selling to happen. The selling is done. Now is the time for people to start layering in. That is just history, it's mathematics, it's data, it's on chain. What do you guys think? What do you guys look at? I'll give this to CTO first. See what you reckon about the RP quotient.
But we're not.
Yeah, I mean,
Tia
there are so
wasn't.
many models,
Ray
and
and
I feel that during the
The
years
Acer
that I've
gods.
been here,
That's who's evil.
it's so
And you know what?
appetizing to
Odin's
kind
right.
of find some
We
model
are a
that has
threat.
worked in some
'Cause we know
sort
what
of
they are
ways,
and we
then
know we
feel
can
it's going to
beat
work the next time.
Well,
also,
not
but
all of them.
I feel that
Not yet.
what has
Magni
worked
goes
in my
first.
experience
He's
are
dead.
the much more
They're no better than us.
more
And they're gonna be sorry they
fundamental
picked this
models.
fight.
Like Wyckoff is almost 100 years old, and it still works. Like you run the price below the previous lows, then everyone panic, and everyone feel it's over, and that's when you turn it up. Or like we had in November last year, you run it above the previous highs. Everyone shouting, "Okay, guys, we're going to the moon now, 100K soon," and so on, and that's when you run it down. So I feel that what really works is what's anchored in basic psychology, and so on the edges, it's really the kind of the, you have to think like a contrarian. You have to think that there is someone here trying to manipulate you, and how do you get on the other side of that? That I feel has worked very well. Then in the middle of the ones that the bottom is in, it's really a trend game. Like the trends last much longer than seems reasonable, and then it's important to hang on to that trend, and that's why when we spoke last time, I felt that it's probably going lower because the trend was so solid down and we were not at any key support. Now we are at the key support, and then I feel that there's a possibility of turning around. And so I don't really look at many of these other more complex models. I'm a simple guy. We're at support, we ran it below support, and then back up, and that's perhaps a bottom.
Great. Ran, what say you? I know you have a team on your side that look at a lot of TA as well. What are they thinking?
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I must say, I'm not. I don't use TA as the primary. I use TA as the validation. So my primary is fundamental. My go-to is fundamental, and I use TA as validation. So that's where Sheldon and I work pretty well together. I decide what I want to buy fundamentally. Sheldon always stops me from buying it when I want to buy it and tells me just wait, and 95% of the time is right. So we tag team pretty well. I agree with everything that you've just said in terms of, I agree with Will Clemente's model, the realized price, the MVRV. I think those two are amazing. But I think for me, there's one thing that for me is more important than both of those, and that is the level of fear in the markets and the amount of time that the fear has been present in the markets. So for me, when I look at the fact that we're in extreme fear, and we've been in extreme fear for a couple of days, and this is like by far extreme fear, to me it feels to me like we're getting to a bottom indicator. So obviously I rely first on the on-chain data and the fundamentals, then I look at technicals, but the overarching thing for me is fear, extreme fear, and extreme capitulation. I think we've seen a capitulation this week. Now, capitulation isn't something that ends immediately. I think one of the indicators you can look at is the realized losses. When people are willing to take realized losses, I don't have the chart in front of me, but if you look at the realized loss chart, we had a spike that we haven't seen in a hell of a long time, which is people capitulating and going, I'm out of this thing. I'm willing to take my losses. And I think we've seen all of those things line up this week. And again, I'm not saying it is the bottom, but I'm saying for me, it's close enough to the bottom to be deploying. Whatever's left, I'm starting to deploy now. And, if I'm deploying it into things where I have real conviction and slightly lower risk, just in case I'm wrong, then it just becomes a longer term bet rather than a higher risk.
Great. So this is.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
Can I just add one thing? Because I agree completely, and I forgot to say that. So there's really two other things that which you touched upon. One is really it has to feel like this is it. It's going to go to zero, and we better sell now. If it doesn't feel like that, it's probably not the bottom. And up until yesterday morning, I didn't really feel it. I escaped the
Thor, blame me. Me for what you did to Magni. My own father called me a coward.
Looks like he did more than that. Move it, or we'll pick up where he left off.
I'll kill you.
No. He is beaten. Not worth killing.
He should pay for what he said about Mother.
I said no.
But we're gods. We can do whatever we want.
That's what I said to your mother, right before I gave it to her.
What are you doing?
This is a much better knife than Mother's.
You killed against my wishes. You lost control.
Haven't you been teaching me to kill?
I've been teaching you to survive. We are gods, boy. And that makes us a target. From now until the end of days, you are marked. So I teach you to kill, yes, but in defense of yourself. Never as an indulgence.
Nobody cared about him anyways. What's the difference?
There are consequences to killing a god!
Why? How do you know? How do you know?
Watch your tone, boy.
Whatever.
Luna debacle and all that, so it didn't really hit me. I was right positioned with the Bitcoin drop and all that, so I didn't feel anything. But then when I came to the office in the morning, USDT was depegging in front of my eyes by 10%. And then I really started sweating. I had to sit down and I was thinking, is this really the end of this cycle? And it's going to go bad from here. And I really felt stressed for the first time. And then kind of resolved, and then afterwards I thought, yeah, this could actually be the bottom, because now for the first time in a long time I actually felt really stressed, and that's how it has to feel in the bottom. And if it feels like that, a lot of people are selling and a lot of other people are buying, and then it becomes like a huge volume spike. If there is a huge volume spike, it's probably not the bottom. And the past few days it has been a huge volume spike. So that has been a lot of people kept it related. There has been a lot of people someone else has those bitcoins. And so that could be an indication of the bottom. But when there are these huge volume spikes, it can mean two things. Either something is ending, so the drop is an ending, that is the end of the drop. Or it's the beginning of something.
Look
Someone
here.
is loading up and is going to start going somewhere, and that could be in the down direction also. But my guess is still that it's kind of ending volume at this point, and we'll have to see from there. But I agree 100%.
Good. One of the things that I felt was happening, you did see that loading up factor and on-chain 10k plus wallets. Then it
Keep
was
your
by over
wits about
10%.
you, boy. If Modi found us, Baldur cannot be
But,
far.
Good.
Ran had a
I have a few words
analysis
for
a little
him
over a
too.
week ago.
No, you
It
do
seems
not.
like about a year
You
ago.
leave him to me.
But
So you can
one of
kill
the
him.
things that the audience
Because that's what we
I
do to our
think wants
enemies,
to hear is
right?
okay.
Because he'd do the same to
I always
us.
say wealth
I will
preservation
do only
first,
what is necessary.
alpha
And I'll
second.
help.
That should be the
No.
priority. And with all that's happened, I expected a big flood into safe havens like Bitcoin, like Ethereum. We saw that for about a day, and then we see people degenning into other stuff all over again. It's crazy. But Ran, you had a great analysis that I really loved. You looked at the top 25 questions you asked. Two brilliant things. One is, will they survive the next 5 years? And number two, will they be in the top 25 in the next 5 years? And we saw a huge change in a week. So I'd like to just take a quick revisit to this table. I will share it online right now. I hope it comes up. And this is basically what we're looking at. So if you can see that, look at the Ethereum tether all the way down. This list has changed. This is the start list I created for you. And I thought I created a column beside it, whether we agree or not. We were actually in agreement on 21 of the 25 names that were mentioned. So I'd like to revisit that now with you all. Just go quick around the table. Yes or no? Will it be here in 5 years? And second, will it be in the top 25 in those 5 years? So you guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it fast. So I'll go with.
yeah.
Why don't I put
This
CTO
room.
on the spot first?
But we need a new way out.
So, Bitcoin, will it be in here in 5 years, and will it be in the top 20 or top 25?
Yes.
Okay. Ethereum.
It's just yes and no, right? No
Exactly.
comments here.
It's yes
Yeah.
and yes or yes and no. So, for example, if this token X that is in the top 25 now, will it be alive in 5 years? That's a yes. Will it be in the top 25 in 5 years? Then you say no. So it could wither away, but still be alive. Like we've seen a lot of things from the previous crypto winter survive.
You know
Okay,
there's no way
Ethereum.
up this way, right?
Yes.
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. I think, I mean, the chains, it's very rare, unless there is like the Luna mechanism where you mint into it or something, they're still going to survive. I mean, there's still going to be some activity, but
Okay. Tether.
yeah. Yes, actually.
Okay.
I say yes on that one.
BNB.
Yes, I say yes also.
And will BNB be in the top 20?
Yeah, I say yes on that one.
Okay. USDC.
Yes.
XRP.
No.
Very good. Solana.
Making
No.
friends here.
No, yes. I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, yes. Solana.
We know what happened to Terra Luna. The question is, do you think Terra Luna can come back from the dead?
I have a big opinion on this, but it's quite a long opinion.
I'll come to it. Let's blast through this real fast. This is really for the people in the audience that may have some of these assets. They want to listen to you guys thinking, they're prepared to get out. That's the mission of this. Cardano.
Will exist. I say no.
Go.
Have you forgotten your training?
Oh,
Will exist.
talking to
not
me?
top 20.
thought you didn't like my
Polkadot.
tongue.
Will exist. Not top 20.
Shiba Inu. That's an easy one.
No.
Okay. Matic.
Same. I think not top 20.
Okay. Tron.
No.
Near.
I think not top 20.
Kronos.
Not top 20.
That's one I've been in the headlines lately. Litecoin.
Yeah. Not top 20.
Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, it will exist, but not top 20.
Very good. Chainlink.
Will exist, but not top 20. I will give one comment after all this, because I realize I'm upsetting a lot of people.
Okay. Cosmos.
Don't worry, we upset them last week.
Yeah, exactly. Will exist, but not top 20 either.
Okay. And then Uniswap.
Uniswap, yeah, possibly. Maybe,
Phantom.
yes. Yeah. I think not top 20.
Excellent. So those
And
you got a lot of cuts there. So like
yeah, exactly. And my thinking is like this: 5 years is a very long time. And if we go back and look 5 years back, most projects that were big then, they are not around now. They exist, but no one is really talking about them. And the reason is simple. The reason is that it's innovation. It's not. I don't think that there's a better project right now than most of these.
It's like you
But
finally
in
noticed
maybe
everything
3 years,
smells
4
like
years,
shit.
there will be
Oh,
someone
don't worry. I'm
innovating
sure they'll be
something
back to
that is
yelling at
better,
each other
gets better
momentarily.
momentum and so on. So
Well,
the replacement for each of
have
those
fun shutting
is not
up.
invented yet. While I think that, for example, Bitcoin or Ethereum has so big momentum already that they might not be replaced in the same way.
Guess who has just joined us? Hey
Let's
Ben.
get to it.
Sorry.
Hey, sorry. I thought it was at 3, not 1.
No worries. Sorry about that.
Oh man.
Time zones. Anyway, glad you could make it. We are a good way through the show. We're actually doing an interesting piece now. I don't know if you got the Google Doc I sent you earlier, kind of the top 25, which ones will survive the next year versus which ones will fall out of the top 20, top 25, whatever you want to call it, depending if you add stablecoins or not. We just went through CTO Larson's view of the world. We're about to do Rand's revisit. This is his brainchild, and I loved it. And so much so, I created a spreadsheet and I put in my own thoughts as well. So I'll let you digest. I know the audience is very happy to have you here, Ben. Thank you for coming. You know everybody here in the show, but I'm going to go to you, Rand, now with this list. Make sure it's top of mind.
Okay, I'm happy to take it on, but I have one condition. I want to hear from Ben whether he thinks we've hit the bottom straight afterwards, because that's why I tuned in.
Absolutely. So we'll come back to that. We'll do a quick recap, get his thoughts on the first 3 questions, but let's knock out topic number 4. Rand, you're up. Ready to go? Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Ethereum.
Yes.
Tether.
Yes, around, not in top 20, because I think another stablecoin will replace.
USDC.
I don't know if it will be USDC. USDC, yes.
Okay. XRP.
Pass.
This is where you make friends.
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
Solana.
No. Yes.
Okay, Cardano.
Will be around. Man, I actually changed my view on it this week, and I think
Because you got
Ye-
Sunday Swap.
no. Orange. Let's make it orange, and we can talk about it in a second. But let's make it orange, if you don't mind.
Okay, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room here, because we need to.
No, it's gone, and I'll tell you also why I think it's gone if you want at the end of the thing.
Okay,
But it's gone.
That's Luna we're referring to. If anybody
can't-
is not following, Doge, easy one.
Gone.
Avalanche.
No, hang on. It might be
Learning
around.
won't
It
teach
might be
me.
around in 5 years. In fact, it will be around. But remember, it'll only be around if Litecoin's around, because
And
it's
all I
merged mined.
wanted was the truth.
It's mined with Litecoin.
Where did you get your
isn't it
fire?
merged mined with Litecoin. So it'll be around, but
Why
it
did
might
you
be a
hide
very
it?
small chain and easy prone to attacks.
It also has a big proponent
You
as
said
well,
there are
being
consequences to
Elon Musk.
killing a god.
Shiba
it will be
Inu.
You
around.
used the blades
Yeah.
to kill one.
Shiba Inu, no.
Polkadot.
Who else
Yes,
did you kill? Before Magna? How many?
Yes, there's too many uncertainties at the moment, because
Do you hear me?
it's not a real
And these are
functioning
not
chain yet
subjects
with
for
real
discussion.
adoption. It
Not
does work,
pushing
but it's not
away.
a real functioning chain with real
Fine.
adoption. I'd say
Come here.
yes, and
Guess
maybe
what?
this is my flyer
I
that
know
maybe will
everything I
make
need to
top
know
20,
now.
and that's
I
only
have
if it really
nothing
works.
else to learn.
Yeah, exactly. It goes back to, I remember once I
Congratulations.
mentioned the difference between VHS and Betamax. Nobody, well, it's you what I was talking about. But it's about sometimes the best technology doesn't necessarily win. Avalanche.
Yes, will be around, won't be top 20. Too many flaws.
Okay, Matic.
Yes, will be around, won't be top 20, but will be high up below top 20. Tron will be around, not top 20.
This'll be easy. We're done.
Will be around, not top 20. will be around my top 20.
Litecoin.
It will be around, but it will definitely not be top 20. But it won't die because there will always be some people mining that need to change somewhere.
Bitcoin Cash.
We'll be around my top 20. We'll be around. We'll be top 20.
Cosmos.
We'll be around. We'll change the tokenomics at some point. We'll change the utility. It could be top 20 if they change the utility of the token, but if not, no. I am. Yes, we'll be around, but I think that after I read your comments, I'm deferring to your side, saying I think it will be changed by a more sophisticated type system. But I think they may be the ones to create it. So I'm going to say yes, yes, and yes. Phantom will be around if it won't be top 20. I've got fundamental reasons as to why it won't be top 20. I can give you, I can give you the 2-minute version of where I think went wrong and why I don't need it to be top 20. So, in a nutshell, we've never had an algorithmic-based stablecoin work. The reason why is because it's just algorithmic-based stablecoins.
The tunnels I'm seeing in the walls up here show signs of recent dragon.
Luna had the biggest chance of working, and it would have needed a massive capacity. It would have needed massive adoption to make it work. Luna made a critical mistake, and the mistake was when they decided to back some of it with Bitcoin. Now I know that was what put Doquan and everyone else on the high horse and made everyone believe in it. But the minute that you take a concept of a token that is not backed by anything other than arbitrage, and you muddy it with a semi-collateral. So basically, you're taking a $20 billion outstanding or $20 billion float with a $2.5 billion or $3 billion backing. You're now an uncollateralized stablecoin, call it what you want. And when you do that, you open yourself up mathematically to attack. Because what you're saying is, the minute the collateral runs dry, you're an uncollateralized, semi-collateralized coin, and then the whole heap falls apart. So I think the biggest mistake that I don't know if Luna would have worked otherwise, because only when things are attacked do you know whether they're going to work or not work. But I do think that the biggest mistake that they made was actually semi-collateralizing a coin with anything. Because the minute you semi-collateralize, then anyone looks at it and goes, if I can break through that collateral wall, then the whole thing's going to fall into a heap. And that's what happened to Luna. And so I think it'll be a long time before people trust an algorithmic stablecoin again.
Completely agree. Okay, Ben, over to you. We're going to do the top 20 real fast. Ready?
Yeah, I'll just do it. Bitcoin and Ethereum, yes. Probably 1 and 2 in that order. Bitcoin will be number 1. Ethereum will be number 2.
What does this say?
Tether, like I think there's going to be a crackdown on stablecoins coming, sooner rather than later. So I could see that taking a hit on Tether. I don't I never will say anything positive about Tether because I don't think anyone will use it unless they need short-term liquidity before converting it to another stablecoin. So I'm just going to say no to cover myself. BNB is one of those coins. It's like it's an exchange coin, and it has done relatively well. And Binance is one of those exchanges, so I think it will still be around, and it will probably be in the top 20 in 5 years. But I don't think it will be number 10. That makes sense. Like I think it will overtake it, but I still think it's going to be around. USDC, safer plays. By the way, I had you got Luna is not on this list, right? Luna is that it's not even going to be in the top 1,000. Like it's asymptotically going to 0, and no one's ever going to trust it. I've never used the actual platform, but there's no way investors are ever going to do that again. It's a death spiral, and I don't think it's much less than top 20. XRP is one of those things that it's like a it seems like it shouldn't be there, but it is. And I ultimately have to respect the data. I necessarily think, and it's been in the top, 5 or 10 for 5 or 6 years. My guess is in 5 years it'll still be somewhere in the top 20. I think it'll still be around, but I don't think it'll be a top 3 project, but it'll probably be somewhere in the top 20. Cardano, yes, I do think it'll still be around in 5 years, and I think it'll be in the top. I think it'll be in the top 10, maybe even higher. I know we disagree on that. Solana, did I do Solana?
Not yet.
I think it'll be around, but I don't know. I think Solana has a lot of issues they have to overcome. I mean, again, I've tried running a validator. It's super expensive. I mean, it's like 100K a year just to run a validator. The blockchain's growing at terabytes per year, so it's getting more expensive. It goes down a lot. Is it gonna? It's also backed by a lot of VC money, so I don't know. I mean, I think it'll be around, maybe top 20, not top 5. Doge, yeah, it's our meme coin. I mean, I don't own any, but I would be remiss to ever say it's gonna go away. It'll be in the top. It'll probably be in the top, 20 to 25 just for meme purposes. But I don't own any and don't recommend buying it. Avalanche, and by the way, the people, I don't. The thing with Doge is that it's like it's just always been there. Like it's ever since I can remember, it's always just been this meme that won't go away. So maybe top 20, but it won't. I don't think it'll ever be like a information about it actually having real world utility. It's sort of like who's promoting it, and if you have billionaires promoting it, there's going to be people that constantly buy it. Let's see, Avalanche.
This used to be a challenge.
I'm gonna say not top 5. I don't know about I don't think top 10 either, but maybe the top 20 in 5. I don't know. I don't think it's going away, but I would say somewhere in the top 20 to top 30 or something within 5 years, unless they can, maybe it'll surprise me, but I think right now it's sort of going down the ranks, if I'm not mistaken. Polkadot, yes, I think it'll be around. They focus mostly on security and not decentralization. So, Cardano's focused more on decentralization. Solana's it's been more focused on fast transactions and that kind of stuff. Polkadot's more focused on security. But they are scaling that back some and allowing more validators to ultimately come back on, and hopefully they'll allow more nominators to go to those validators. So yeah, I do think it'll be around. My main concern with it right now is that it's a bleeder against Ethereum, but then again, what isn't right now? So I do think it'll be around, probably not top 5, but I would say yes in the top 20. No way in hell. Matic, I think it'll stick around for a little while longer, but as Ethereum continues to to improve its own, I don't know. It's not one of those projects that I think will be around necessarily in 5 or 10 years, but in the short term, it'll probably stick around. Tron, no. Near, I'm gonna say I don't actually have enough information on it to comment on it, so I will just refrain from providing an opinion because it would just be BSing it to some degree. Kronos or whatever that is, I don't even know what that. And I don't know. I'm not gonna. Oh, is that the? Oh, that's the crypto. Yeah, no.
In the headlines.
I don't know. They kind of shot themselves in the foot recently. So I don't know. I that's not one I would recommend. Probably not top 20, but it'll probably still be somewhere. Litecoin, you could already argue is not around, but it depends on what you define as being around. Like is it going to be there and sort of be a shell of its former self? Probably. Will it find nice returns in a bull market, but that will be inferior to Bitcoin and Ethereum? Probably. So it'll still be around, but my guess is it'll be somewhere in the top. In 5 years, let's say the top 50 in 5 years. BCH, no. Chainlink, yes. Hopefully Chainlink will pick it up in the bear market. That's where it picked it up last time. Cosmos, probably around. I think they're pretty bad at marketing, honestly. It's probably one of their biggest issues. It'll probably be around, but I'm gonna say top 30. FTX. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably be around. I don't know. I don't know exactly where it'll be. Uniswap, it'll be around, but it's not going to be in the top 20. I don't think. Maybe like top 50 or top 100, but I don't think it'll be in the top 20. And Phantom, I'll say it'll be around maybe in the top 40.
Excellent. That was great. I'm going to step back for a second because I know that the audience love your insight on the two topics that we touched on at the beginning. We talked about the storm, macro, lunar implosion. Ben, Permabear's out in force. Did we hit that bottom of 30 hours ago?
That's a good question. I mean, I think you have to look at the volume, and I think one encouraging sign is the volume is actually looking similar to, you know, like May 2021 levels. It is moving higher. I think the one thing we have to be careful about though is in December of 2018 we saw a surge of volume, but the actual bottom was approximately like a month later. It wasn't actually the volume surge candle that led to the bottom. It still came about a month later. I do think it could be a local bottom if the NASDAQ actually bounces, and it seems like we're due for a bounce in traditional markets. I mean, they've been getting hammered as well. I don't want to commit to it being a market cycle bottom where we sustainably move higher, because I still think there's going to be a lot of like regulation FUD and whatnot to come this year. And so we could end up going down, you know, at least to the 200-week moving average, which, by the way, I mean, isn't even that much further down if you think about it. I mean, like 22K, 25K, it's not that big of a difference. But in terms of longer term investing, as long as you have a you know, like a 2-year outlook, this risk level tends to be relatively good as long as you have like a 2-year outlook. If you have like a 6-month outlook, who the hell knows? I mean, I don't really know. I think it could be a short-term bottom for sure if the NASDAQ can bounce. If the NASDAQ goes down, then we'll probably bleed into a potential market cycle. But I would be more confident about talking about it being a more major bottom if there's a lot of confluence around the 20K area. Is it a hill I'm going to die on? No. I mean, if Bitcoin shows strength and you know, then I'll be happy to say that it's the bottom. But I'm not convinced yet that it's the cycle bottom with all the regulation fears and also with the Fed still remaining relatively hawkish. I mean, they're going to be raising 50 basis points the next couple of months. And then you have stablecoin regulations likely coming at the end of this year. So I'm not going to commit to it being a cycle bottom, but I say it could be a local bottom for a month or something maybe.
Okay, good stuff. And then indicators, one of the things, like, what are your favorite bottom indicators of Bitcoin? What would you want to see? Will Clemente came out and said the realized price sits at 24K. We have so close to basic investors. That's that and the MVRV Z-score is pretty good. What do you look at to find that bottom before you just blow all the powder and jump in back up the truck? Where would you be?
Yeah, so I would look at so I have like this risk metric for it. It's still further down from what we currently are. I think anything sub 20K or around 20K becomes like a very interesting level from just a price perspective, not necessarily any other perspective, but just from like a technical perspective in terms of like the down from the all-time high. If you look at prior bear market drawdowns, the first cycle we saw like a negative 93, negative 94% drop. Second cycle was around an 86 or 87% drop. The third cycle was around an 83 to 84% drop. So in the same way that we're experiencing returns, we're also getting diminishing losses too. So you know, if you think about it, maybe dropping between, I think we're already like 60% down, right, or something like that. If it goes if it's a 70% drop, which seems reasonable, a 70% drop does seem reasonable compared to what we've seen in the past. That puts you at 20K. You know, if it's like a 75% drop, it puts you, I think, at 17K. And if it's an 80% drop, it puts you at 14K. So I think there's a lot of longer term investors that would find incredible value at the 20K level, or, you know, just a couple thousand around that area. I think that would be a really a key indicator of in terms of like where it is from its height. And then also the other thing to look at besides all of that stuff is you have the logarithmic regression band, which the one that I have fit to sort of what I consider to be the non-bubble data. That ranges from, I believe, you know, 14K to 30K with the fair value at around 21 to 22K. And then you have the 200 week at 22K. You have the last two cycle bottoms occurred also when the 20 week crossed below the the 100, and that hasn't happened yet, but it's probably going to happen in the next like couple of months. Also, the next resource access to the fair value logarithm regression band, which that hasn't happened yet. So I'm still, I think it's a little too early to but with that said, like, you know, no bear market goes straight down, right? It can easily bounce. Look what happened between January and April, you know, like, we went to 31 days, and bounced around on 48 days for 3 months, and we ended up getting it. I'm not like a bottom, but if we get one more leg down, then I think I'm seeing a more serious.
Can I just add one? Yeah. Can I just add one? Because I agree with everything you guys are talking about. We speculate a lot here when this happened, when that happened. We talk about these 20 projects, when I think that we have to also realize that predicting the future is very difficult. If there's one thing that I think everyone has realized the past couple of years is that predictions are difficult, and especially so no one would have predicted what went down in this week. Even no one would have predicted this week. 2 years ago, no one would have predicted this. It is surprisingly difficult to predict the future, and in business and management and so on, we have the fancy word of serendipity, right? Which just means luck. It just means that things happen at random. And I think it's very important to take in and absorb that, because whatever we sit here, we try our best to know what will happen, but in reality, we don't know either. So I think it's very important as an investor to kind of hold these opinions loosely. If the reality shows that whatever we think today, on Monday, reality shows something else, we have to change our opinion. And then that's a difficult thing to do, and it's very ungrateful. A lot of people would jump back and say, yeah, but you guys sat there last Friday, and now you said this, and now you suddenly say this. So you've changed your mind. Yeah. That's what we have to do. That's the only way to survive. And that's why we can't really predict which projects will be in 5 years, because the best projects, they're not even invented yet. Yep. And when it happens, we have to absorb it, and we have to change our opinion. If the market changes on Monday for whatever reason, we have to kind of revisit, we have to revise our view and our opinion. And I think that most people haven't really taken that in. They think that we're going to predict something and then we're going to stick with it. But
I think to add to what you're saying, I mean, I agree with you, and I think the best example of that is Luna. If you look at Luna, I don't think anybody could have predicted Luna collapsing this big, and so any predictions that anyone would have had before the Luna collapse are completely invalidated. I mean, I think if you would have gone back, there were probably a handful of people that would have predicted that Luna would have collapsed, and the way that Luna collapsed, it collapsed so quickly in 3 days. I don't think anybody could have predicted that, and that fueled the Bitcoin market collapsing to where it is. So I think specifically for us, because
no, exactly. I mean, a lot of people come and say, okay, but you guys said that Luna was good. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it too. 2 months ago, we had some video. We talked about it. I liked it. I think it looked promising. But then I also had like a stop loss. I had a cut point that if it drops below this, I'm out. And it happened. And I didn't like it. I didn't think it would happen. 2 months ago, I didn't think it would happen, but it happened. Okay, then I had to stop and pause and look at it again. Am I reading it wrong? No, actually, it's actually dropped below this key support that I thought would never happen, but it happened. Okay, then we have to take some action. And I think that this is really a mindset that can be very helpful in these uncertain times. We don't know if this is the bottom. On one side this, on the other side that. But truth is, we don't know. But reality will guide us.
Whatever.
And whatever happens, you know, tomorrow, on Monday, next week, the week after, the month after, we can take in those clues and we can change our mind. And that is how we can navigate this uncertainty. And I think this is a helpful mindset for everyone to have. Yeah.
Great. Okay, so let's jump in. We've got one final topic, and then we'll do 5 very quick questions from the audience too. I know we've got 2 people that are in the far away time zone, so thank you, Rand. But what are your plans for the rest of 22? What advice would you give the viewers? Of course, not financial advice, but how you are planning your bags, how you are planning to dig out of the hole and make money back. I'd like to, like me personally, I always think of risk reward. I have been layering in, I double my buy each step down, and that takes the emotion out of it for me. I had a regret of not buying more Bitcoin at 29K in July 2021, and I never thought I'd get another bite of the apple. I did, so I'm happy. But if you're buying at, say, 28K, 29K versus 25K, 26K, over the next 3 to 5 years, that doesn't matter. You're getting in early. So I'm going to go to Ben, you first. Are you hanging tight? Are you waiting for that true capitulation down to 14K or 12K or 20K? Or are you layering in right now? And what would you plan? What do you plan for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so I mean, as I've said over the last few months, I mean, the higher lows we were putting in after, you know, the rejection
I'm sure that's a load off your mind.
It seemed like it was only a matter of time before we really broke down. So I think the general bear market structure, it still, I think, remains intact until proven otherwise. I think that it's protecting capital time, not trying to get rich time. So I think being heavy cash and Bitcoin makes the most amount of sense, because the truth is, over the next 6 months, it doesn't really matter the direction Bitcoin goes. Most altcoins are going to bleed against Bitcoin. Like, it's just where we are right now. We're in a bear, it's a bear market structure. Bitcoin has to be healthy before any altcoins are going to have any type of confidence. So I can tell you, I'm staying the hell away from altcoins. As I've been saying, like, I don't think that they're good value until Bitcoin shows that it's actually stronger. So I think for the next 3 to 6 months, it makes sense to be heavy the blue chips, mainly Bitcoin. I do think Ethereum is going to bleed against Bitcoin until the end of the year. And I think altcoins are going to bleed against Bitcoin for probably the next 3 to 6 months. And then maybe closer to the end of the year, it'll be a better risk reward play on the altcoins. I think the problem is that people underestimate how badly altcoins can get wrecked in a bear market. And we are quick to FOMO back in, but a lot of the altcoins today, you know, even on their pump today, just like five days ago, those prices would have been unimaginable for some people, and now it's sort of like a FOMO price, right? Just because it's a bounce off the most recent low. So I think you need to protect your downside risk by not having a ton of altcoins, and recognizing that Bitcoin will probably preserve value the most for a while, and until it either capitulates more convincingly to some of the indicators we showed earlier, or if it somehow shows strength, even though we're in a risk-off environment, I would not be too heavy on altcoins. Would be to help.
So did you ditch all your alts like Cardano and stuff like that, or you're just holding Bitcoin and Ethereum, or you're just not layering in from here?
My portfolio right now is 3% altcoins.
Wow.
Rand, over to you. What's your game plan for the rest of 2022? And I must say, for you, a lot of respect. You've been very open. You've been very brave. You got hit hard, and here you are. How are you going to rebuild?
Yeah, I mean, to your first point, as I mentioned to anyone who watches me, I'm a very open book and I'm very transparent. And you know what banter is? It's a reality show. I tell people what I'm doing, and when I'm right, I'm right, and when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But either way, it's what I'm doing. I have a slightly different view to Ben. Ben is much more analytical on the timings and stuff like that. I am looking at this thing. I'm not a trader. I don't trade in and out. Usually, once I buy something, I buy it and I hold it, and unless my thesis is broken. So, sometimes I maybe try and time my buying zone. Sometimes, and that's something that Sheldon and the technical guys have taught me. But ultimately, once I research something and I think that it's good, then I buy it and I hold it, and I don't ever sell it unless my thesis changes, or unless I need money to buy something else, or unless I need money to rebalance my portfolio or whatever else. But otherwise, I never sell. So to me, the same altcoins that I held in earlier, which is, Solana. I hold some Cardano. I hold some Thorchain. I hold, there's a whole portfolio. I just keep buying those things. And right now, what I'm doing is I'm using the opportunity with the little money that I've got left. I'm using the opportunity to pick up the things that I think fundamentally are going to be part of my portfolio, and to pick them up at the best price that I can. But again, it seems like it's a very different approach from you guys, or from specifically from Ben, because I don't trade in and out of things. I think a lot of people also don't appreciate, the tax implications of trading in and out of things. I don't know how the taxation is in the countries which you guys live in, but if we trade in and out of things, there's a 40% tax on your profit. So that's a big deterrent from actually selling something, just because you want to time the market in and out, because you've got to time for a 40% loss. So for me, my strategy remains the same. I'm looking for protocols which I think are going to change the world. I'm going to, I say my investment thesis stays the same. Invest in protocols that you think are going to change the world, and then give them enough time and support to do their thing. And that's exactly how I keep on investing, good times and bad times. And I only sell if my thesis becomes invalidated, if I need money to fund other investments, if I need money to fund my lifestyle, or if I need to rebalance my portfolio. But otherwise, I'm not a seller.
Great, good stuff. And finally, CTO, what's your plan for the rest of the year? Have you bought in recently? What does your allocation look like?
Yeah, so I bought yesterday, and I stuck to my plan. This is my dream scenario that I've talked about for months, and now it happened. And I mean, the thing is that if you watch Twitter, a lot of people have talked for weeks and months that they're going to buy 28K. But then when it actually happens, it's very difficult to press that buy button, because at that point of time, it feels like the world is ending and it's going to go further down. It's very difficult to buy. So I've scaled in. I have mainly Bitcoin, and second position, my second largest position is Ethereum, and that's just about it. And I have also, I think, same like Ben, I have maybe 3% something else. But that's what I've done. And now we will see if this was the bottom. Then I'm going to hold that because I hope then, and I think that it's possible we get a Bitcoin-led rally here. There has been a trend change in the relationship between Bitcoin and altcoins. Bitcoin has shot up now, and there is a possibility that there is a change here. So my thesis here is that we get a Bitcoin-led rally up, and then I will hold Bitcoin mainly. And I think so also. I think a lot of the alts could get slaughtered either way. Either if Bitcoin runs first, alts drop against the Bitcoin, and if Bitcoin runs down, altcoins also drop against Bitcoin. It's only kind of later in the cycle, when there's been a lot of profits made and people start feeling that Bitcoin is boring because it's only going up 10% per day, and the altcoins are going up 20% per day. That's when the kind of speculative frenzy is at its best. Having said that, I mean, Rand's strategy that you are doing, you're acting like a VC. That is also a sound strategy. If you're kind of consistent with a strategy, that either you try to kind of move with the market, then you have to take action, you have to bite the bullet on the tax implications and all those stuff. That is a valid strategy. The other strategy to kind of diversify and buy and hold and hope that you get a couple that really takes off and make up for all the projects that don't make. That is also a valid strategy. What is not a valid strategy, which a lot of beginners do in this industry, is that they do the VC approach, but instead of Ran, I guess you have a portfolio, I don't know, 50, 100, something like that, right? Yeah, VC approach, but with one project, and then that is not a success, because the likelihood that exactly that is very small. But that with large now, the chance of hitting one, and then goes 100x. Is that correct?
Yeah, just to clarify, so my portfolio is broken up, and my portfolio is very aggressive. So, I mean, for different people, it's different things. My portfolio is very aggressive because I have a lot outside of crypto. Because I sold the business previous to getting into crypto, I had a very big exit. So I have a big lump sum out of crypto. But my portfolio is 50% in what I call a hodl portfolio, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. It was Luna. I think it's slightly changed. That's because it works so accurate. 35% of my portfolio is in slightly riskier assets, things like Arweave, those kind of things. Chainlinks in the hodl portfolio. And then 10 to 15% of my portfolio is, like you mentioned, broken up into 50 investments. And you're talking about 0.35, 0.5% of the portfolio in each one of those assets. Now, I'll give you one example. An example is Luna. Initially, when I invested in Luna, Luna was like less than 0.35, less than 0.5% of my portfolio. And I left it and I let it run for so long without touching it. I kept earning the staking rewards because we were staking and earning 10, 11, 12% rewards at some stages. And that then became the majority of my portfolio. So, and that was, as you mentioned, holding. Now, the one mistake that I made was that I never rebalanced fast enough, and that came back to bite me. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes, because we're in an emerging technology, and because this technology has the promise to change the world, just like Bitcoin is changing the world, a host of a whole lot of small bets, if you have the conviction to hold them forever, could change your life. You know, like if you bought Binance, if you bought Ethereum, if you bought Matic, if you bought all of those, and even if you just put $1,000 into those, you would be a multi-millionaire today, and we're not even halfway through the race yet. So it's a different approach. It seems to me like some of the others on this stream are a little bit more market timers. I've been shown to not be the best market timer in the world. I'm too emotional. I'm either too excited and then I jump on the bandwagon too late, or I panic too much and then I sell. But ultimately, everyone must stick to the strategy which they hold, and my strategy is multiple small bets which get bigger over time and then constant rebalancing.
Yep, good stuff. So right now we're going to go into the final section. I hope the audience got a lot from you guys. Really good information and everything else. We're going to jump into a couple of quick questions from the audience, and I'm just trying to pull up a slide. Yes, audience Q&A. So we're just taking 5 questions today because we ran very long. First question is from, well, it's not even a question, it's a compliment to you guys, from Elga Kalda from somewhere in Europe land. My knowledge and my intellect are much more developed and complete thanks to you guys. So big thank you to you guys for being here and helping guide people. Next question is from Brohan Solo. What are your guys' view on TLM token? Is it a good buy, and does it have a crypto compendium score? So, are you guys familiar with TLM? I had a quick dig while I was here. It's Alien Worlds. Obviously, metaverse, gaming type play, built on Ethereum.
It's not built on Ethereum. I think it's built on... Is it not built on Wax protocol? I think it might be built on Wax. I may be wrong.
Cool. Yeah. Would you guys touch it, especially in this market? I can tell you right now, the compendium score is horrific. When we look at things like inflation and supply and stuff like that, it's not good. Like much of the metaverse plays, I personally would not touch it, especially not in this market or any market probably. How about you guys?
I wouldn't touch it.
Just reached new lows, right? Just reached new lows if I'm looking at the right coins, and that's randomly catching falling knives. You have no idea how low it can go. I would not touch it here.
Yep.
I'm gonna go a bit further, and I'm gonna say I wouldn't touch it, and I wouldn't touch any other individual game. And I'll tell you why. Because games have so we don't even know if NFT gaming is going to work. We think it is, and it's showing promising signs, but we don't even know if it's going to work. And within the gaming industry, you have multiple games, and the majority of games never ever see the light of day, never even get completed. And those that get completed, only very few of them get adopted. And those that get adopted, only few of them have adoption that lasts more than a certain amount of time. And therefore, to be honest, I think any individual game right now, specifically, is a very, very, very stupid investment. I do, however, think that if you can buy into a gaming studio or into a gaming guild or into the picks and shovels, which is immune to the individual game and gains from that, then that might be a very good investment. But even Axie Infinity, Peg Axie, all of these games, they're fads, they're gonna die. And so to me, that's not a good investment, to be honest.
Well said. The Axie revenue is down 99% in 10 months. And just
Axie's gonna be dead.
people are very fickle with games, and my gaming knowledge is as strong as my cupcake baking knowledge. I don't have any clue about this space, but I did hear from people that metaverse games and blockchain games, etc., are the true gamers. They play elsewhere.
Nearly there.
So thank you for that, guys.
Finally.
Next question from Master Block Warrior, who is in the same region as you, Ram. Where do you folks stand on the Bitcoin as a currency versus Bitcoin as a store of value debate? Quick round table from the three of you.
Well, that's
I
a
mean,
sight
I
no man
actually
should ever
use
see.
Bitcoin
Thanks
as a
for that.
currency. I have a small course, and it's a global audience. And receiving money sitting here in Europe or receiving money from all over the world, it's through the traditional system. It's a pain and it's expensive. And I mean, the best alternative is still PayPal that Elon Musk and company built like 20 years ago, and the website still looks the same. It hasn't changed, and it's so expensive. And the bank system even worse. Cannot even receive money from many countries. It just doesn't work. And when it works, there's a ton of hassle. So I actually use Bitcoin as a currency. It's working great. So I like it as a currency, but of course it has a lot of problems being used as a currency. For example, if you receive a payment, you typically have to pay tax. That can be VAT and it can be tax and so on. And that's at the point when you receive it. Then if, for example, Bitcoin drops the next day, you still have to pay tax on what value it was when you received it. But now you don't have the money anymore to pay that tax from. So that's a very practical problem that you don't have with stable coins, for example. Then those are comparably more stable. So I think it is still useful as a payment currency, but it's far from perfect. And the store of value use case, like the digital gold, that has really grown on me. I was kind of a little bit skeptical in the beginning. I felt that won't it be like some other coin like Ethereum that can do other things, and then it can do the store of value as well. But that digital gold use case has actually grown on me.
I remember
like
once.
it. So I feel like it is both. It seems to be both.
What do you think?
I've been here right through. I got here in 2015, so I think a lot of people got here before me. I've listened to all the narratives for Bitcoin about how it was supposed to be cash and then it didn't work as cash. I still think it's not a very practical cash for 100 different reasons. One of the reasons is it's just too slow for cash. It's not good for microtransactions. It never will be good for microtransactions unless, of course, you use a layer 2, Lightning Network, etc.
I'll do whatever you shut up! All this time I thought I needed you! But you're just smooth. Turns out the boy is the brains.
No! You broke the gate! That was our only way to Jotunheim!
Stupid son of a bitch!
Get out of here, boy.
Yes, by all means, Junior, run away. Let Daddy do all the heavy lifting for you.
Ah! Let's go!
Calm down, boy. You are not ready for this.
I am ready!
Boy,
And here I thought my family was fucked up. Oh, your father is right, boy. You are far from ready. Now, would you be so kind as to hold this for me? Thank you.
Atreus!
Don't you know when to give up?
Stay away from my son!
Weak. You won't stop me! I will break you! Who's activated the bridge? Hey, I asked you a question! It's locked in! And when the bridge opens, the full weight of Asgard will come crashing down on you. It's over.
Is it? So be it. No! Listen to me!
Let me out!
Let go of it now, or I will kill him. You know I will. What did you do?
Boy,
I'm here.
stay still.
Are you gonna help me?
will listen to me and not speak a word. I am your father, and you, boy, are not yourself. You are too quick to temper. You are rash, insubordinate, and out of control. This will not stand. You will honor your mother and abandon this path you have chosen. It is not too late. This discussion is far from over. We are here because of you, boy. Never forget that.
I can't believe we're back in hell.
Not just hell. Worst place in hell you could have put us.
I see a ship.
Get us there. It only takes us halfway to Tyr's temple, but at least it gets us far from here. For 1,000 mortal lifetimes, the Bridgekeeper kept the living out of this place. But now that you've ripped his heart out, here we are. Funny how it all comes around.
He should pay for what he said about Mother.
Boy,
That wasn't me. Was me. But we're gods. We can do whatever we want.
turn away, boy.
That's what I said to your mother, right before I gave it to her.
It wasn't me. I couldn't have done that.
Do not dwell on those thoughts. Not here.
Yeah,
We must keep moving.
yeah. was me. But we're gods. We can do whatever we want.
Turn away, boy.
That's what I said to your mother right before I gave it to her.
Wasn't me. I couldn't have done that.
Do not dwell on those thoughts. Not here.
Yeah.
We must keep moving.
Yeah.
Ed, what was that?
Not just the old and sick come to Helheim, so do the criminals. Hell must not draw a distinction between us and those whom these visions are meant to torture.
How do we stop it?
Escape Hell, as soon as possible.
I'm not gonna let it bother me. Like you said, Mimir, it was just an illusion. That wasn't me.
But it is who you have become of late.
Look, I know I got us into this, but I'll get us out. Whoever I am.
I will get us out. You will follow orders.
But maybe that's not who I am.
It had better be. Now let me focus.
Don't mean to hurry you, but faster?
Let me think.
so I can't feel my fingers.
Maybe both wind traps need to be filled? Those gears up there. Could we jam a door open, maybe?
think I see Baldur up ahead.
No. No, I would never
Stay out of sight.
Listen.
You had no right.
I had every right. I am your mother.
You had no right, Witch. I can't taste. I can't smell. I can't even feel the temperature of this room. Feasting, drinking, women. It's all gone.
You never
Gone.
feel pain again. Death has no power over you now. You would rather die?
Never feel again? Yes. Yes. I would rather die. Yes. Take it away, Mother.
I can't.
Please. Please. Please take it away.
It doesn't work like that. Son, trust me in time. You will thank me. You will thank me.
Come on. Come on! Coward. I never would see you again. Never. What you did to me. What you did to me! Ah! Ah! Ah!
Freya is his mother. Why did you keep this from us, Head?
Would you believe it slipped my mind?
I would not.
I'm at a loss. I assure you have no reason to keep such a thing a secret.
There's the boat. We will speak more of this soon.
Such chaos. I will have much to do after I kill you.
Who is that?
Must hurry.
Not entirely sure this is seaworthy.
She will do.
Now
Give me space to work.
let me help. What can I do?
You have done enough.
Great. Just bear in mind this boat can only take us part of the way. Tyr's temple is near the top of a tremendous waterfall, which, sadly, we are downstream. That means even if we get there intact, we'd still need to sail up a waterfall somehow.
The Vanir built the greatest ship that ever was, and it can fly.
Skiflothnir? Yeah, because it was designed to fly. This was not.
Nevertheless, this is the boat we have. We make do.
And perhaps the biggest iceberg I've ever seen.
At least the fire's making heat. What now? Chopping it?
Give me a father road.
So now the sails are loose?
Just watch.
They're pulling the sails down? But how are they gonna catch the wind? We're floating! The heat from the fires! We're actually floating! And we're stuck again.
Not for long. Stay with the boat.
I can't believe it. You just made a huge sky lantern. Our ship's lodged on this bridge. Sure I can't help?
I said stay on the boat.
Staying on the boat. This ship's stuck on this bridge over here. That did it! We're loose!
Wait for me there.
We need to talk, brother. You do realize it's over, don't you? Even if we make it back to Midgard, you and Baldur destroyed the only gate to Jotunheim. We are out of options. And that boy up there,
He's in 9 kinds of pain. His head's turned so far around he...
Atreus is not your concern.
Well, it might become everyone's concern if you don't do something. You don't have to be the smartest man in the world to see that.
Atreus,
I can help?
together now.
We did it! We're free! We are going to get out of here.
Grace me, Father. It is time to end this.
Yes, my son. It is time.
No,
It's that voice again. Do you know who that is?
I do not know.
Fight first! One side!
Hold on!
That was down! Put out the fire! Right hand side! Starboard! Fire's out! One side! One side!
Harpoon! I will free us! Ed, how long before we reach the temple?
Yeah, it's freezing.
As long as we maintain this speed and those fires don't go out, we should be there in no time, lad.
I can't yet. How's the fire staying lit?
Would you believe magic?
Or those blades?
them what you have done.
Come on, we gotta go!
You saw.
There's no time, look! I have a plan! Jump!
That was your plan? You're both cracked!
We are leaving this realm. Now.
As long as we didn't wreck our way back.
This is Odin's. I'd recognize his atrocious taste anywhere.
Look at that! It's the missing panel about Tyr. Odin must have stolen it. But why?
He always has his reasons. Might I have a look? Well, this is most unexpected.
Why? What does it mean?
I haven't the foggiest. Isn't that unexpected?
Head.
Look, clearly that's Tyr. Traveling somehow. Perhaps magically. But what's that to do with the giants that they should devote a shrine to it? I'm afraid that is none too clear.
What are those runes in the corners?
Not runes. Symbols from different lands. They mean...
War.
Aye.
How do you...
This one I know too well.
Oh.
His eyes. They are jewels. Like yours.
No doubt signifying the gift of sight the giants granted us. Give me a closer look. Interesting. Very interesting.
What is that?
Secret plans concealed by Tyr so none could access but him. And those few others the giants trusted. And right under Odin's nose, ho ho ho! I did promise I'd get you to Jotunheim.
What do you mean, Head? You said we were out of options.
Don't you see, brother? Odin never gave up hope, and neither should we. He knew there was a clue in here, but we're the ones who found it. These plans are for a key to some chamber Tyr's kept hidden. I don't know where it's leading or what we'll find, but it's a path.
How do we make this key?
I suggest we ask a dwarf.
That symbol on the temple door. It's a bunch of runes together. Peace, unity, hope, other things too.
Tyr's own design. He made this door himself.
I think this is where Odin brought all his best clues about Jotunheim.
Boy. Before, when you saw,
I didn't see anything.
you did not see me with someone. An old man.
What old man? Can we go?
Yes. Very well.
All right, let's get back to Midgard and see about making that key. Where's that dwarf?
Now, Head, why did you not tell us Baldur is the son of Freya?
He is! It's shocking every time I hear it, and yet obviously I know it. When I think about Baldur and Freya...
Mimir?
Yes, lad.
Freya.
How's that, brother?
Head, tell me Baldur's vulnerability.
Baldur is blessed with invulnerability to all threats, physical or magical.
Wait, what has happened?